All of this is clothing that I've knit and crocheted but no longer like. So I'm starting a series where I turn all of this into clothing that I do like. And I'm gonna be working on one project per video. And on today's episode of Made It, Hated It, Remade It, I will be taking apart this sweater that I'm currently wearing. And hate is definitely a strong word for the sweater because I do like the idea of it. I just didn't construct it very well. First of all, the neck is too tight and you'll see as I try this on. So yeah, as I put it on, it's a little too tight. And that part is annoying, especially if I'm wearing like a lot of makeup, then I'm scared that I'm gonna transfer it onto my sweater. Second of all, I knit the sweater using 12mm needles. So these needles right here, which were actually too small, I think, because the fabric that it created is a little more stiff than I would prefer it to be. It actually looks pretty good on camera right now, so I feel like you guys might not believe me, but it is a little bit more stiff than I would like it to be. I want more drape to it, and in order to accomplish that, I'm gonna use 15mm needles instead. And third of all, I think this sweater lacks some shaping overall. Mostly some short rows in the back so that the collar kind of sits a little lower, because right now it sits pretty high and it pulls back. So those three things that I just mentioned are the main reasons for why I'm taking apart this sweater, but there are other reasons as well. I honestly just don't wear it anymore. I don't even like hate it. It's just not super practical because of the way that it fits on me. So I'm gonna go take it apart now, and then I'm gonna use the yarn to knit a new and improved sweater. Bunch of the pink stuff. Okay. I finally finished taking apart the sweater, and as you can see, I have rolled all the yarn into balls. I was gonna wind them into cakes. I was trying to do that as I was winding my pink yarn, but as you may have noticed, as I was unraveling the pink section of the sweater, the pink yarn kept falling apart, and while that was happening, I was trying to wind it into a cake, but since it kept falling apart, it was annoying to have to put it on my yarn winder, and then it fell apart, then I would take it off, and then I started trying to do it again. So that led me to winding my yarn into balls rather than cakes. But once I started unraveling the green sections of the sweater, my yarn was no longer falling apart, but I still continued winding them into balls because I think this will help with the ramen state of the yarn. So since I just unraveled an entire sweater, the yarn is a little ramen looking. I know there are ways to prevent that from happening. I'm pretty sure like I can steam it once it's rolled into a ball, but I will not be doing that because that sounds like a lot of work. But I do think that the yarn being wound into balls will help straighten out the yarn a little bit rather than if it were in a cake, because cakes are more loosely wound compared to balls. Okay, just want to mention that before I carry on. And now we're ready for the next step, which is casting on the new sweater with this yarn. And for this new sweater, I will not be using the pink yarn, mostly because it has gone very weak and I don't want it to break while I'm knitting this sweater. And I also want this to be an entirely green sweater this time around, so I'll be using the light green and the dark green. But I'm gonna be casting on with the dark green, and I'm using my 15mm needles. These are so big, and I love using these gigantic needles because whenever I make something with them, it just works up super, super quickly. I just cast on 40 stitches and hopefully this will be enough. I did do a small little swatch off camera. It wasn't a very accurate swatch, but I just used it to kind of get like a rough estimate of how many stitches I would need to cast on, and I decided to cast on 40. And this is the top of the back panel. So this is gonna go in the back here, and now I'm gonna do some German short rows to do a little bit of shaping. I just finished all of my short rows, and like I mentioned earlier, this is the top of the back panel. So this right here, this row is the very top, and this is how long the top of the back panel is. But now I'm gonna continue working up the back panel, and I'm gonna increase along the sides and have it kind of get bigger. And by doing that, I'm gonna have a set-in sleeve. I think that's what it's called. Basically, I'm gonna have the sleeve kind of like, it's gonna go in along the sides. And yeah, I like when my sleeves do that, so I'm hoping that'll look good. This worked up so quickly, which is so exciting. This is how long the longest part of my short rows is. And so far, I'm liking the fabric created with the 15mm needles. It's definitely a bit more holey. I wish I had a needle size that was between 12mm and 15mm, but I don't. But I'd rather it be slightly more holey than too tight and stiff. Today is a new day, and I'm gonna start it by taking apart everything that I knit yesterday, because it turns out I cast on way too many stitches in the beginning, which has given me a very wide panel. This is definitely not the right size for me, so I definitely miscalculated in the beginning. I did do a tiny little swatch off camera, but it was a very improper swatch. I just knit a few rows, like maybe like 4 or 5 rows, and I had like 10 stitches in my swatch, and then I was like, oh no, what I did was I took my little swatch and I like used it as the measurement itself. I don't know, whatever I did clearly didn't work because this is way too big. So I'm gonna take this apart and I'm gonna start over again. And another thing that I realized, you know, during the process of knitting this is I'm pretty sure I actually prefer the fabric created with the 12mm needles over the fabric created with the 15mm needles that I'm currently using. So I definitely prefer the drape created with the 15mm needles, but I'm not a huge fan of the holes. And the yarn that I'm using, it varies in thickness, which is nice, but I think that looks better when the fabric is tighter. So this is what it looks like up close. Honestly, I don't know. I thought about it a lot last night and I felt very stuck on what I should do. And I feel like I should make it with 12mm needles. I feel like that should look better. Oh yeah, the thing that kind of made me decide I should do it with 12mm needles is I looked up the yarn that I'm using online, and it recommends 10mm needles. So the 12mm needles is even bigger than the recommended needle size for this yarn. So yeah, that just made me think, okay, maybe the 12mm needles are the right choice. Anyway, I'm gonna take this apart and I will come back to show you once I've cast on however amount of stitches I cast on. I did not learn my lesson because I'm not gonna do a proper swatch this time around either. I'm just gonna hope that whatever I end up doing works out. So the first time around, I cast on 40 stitches with my 15mm needles. And this time around, I cast on 35 stitches with my 12mm needles. So hopefully this will be the right amount. So if I kind of like stretch it out a little bit, this is how long it is. But like I mentioned, I did not do any measurements, so I'm totally just guessing with this because I'm too lazy to make any swatches. So yeah, just gonna hope for the best. And now I'm gonna go to my knitting group and I'm gonna work on this project while I'm there. It's freezing outside, but I want to come out here while I show you my progress because today is the first snowfall and it's super exciting and it looks so pretty. This is our backyard and it looks so nice. Anyway, this is where I'm at with the cardigan. I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but I was gonna make a sweater at first, but I have now decided to make a cardigan instead. I just feel like a cardigan would be really fun with this yarn. I'm gonna knit a few more rows and get it to about here, and then I'm gonna pick up stitches along the top of the back panel, and then I'm gonna knit 2 separate sections. So as you can see, I have made a lot of progress since I filmed last. And I believe I didn't film any part of me doing the front panels, but I now have the start of 2 front panels and the start of the back panel. And next I'm gonna join all 3 panels together. So I'm basically gonna make my row continuous. So I'm gonna start here, knit down the row, join to the back panel, knit all the way down the back panel, and then join to this other front panel, and then knit this way, and then turn around. And I'm just gonna continue knitting the body of the cardigan by going all around the 3 panels that I have right here. The reason I'm choosing it to knit it like this is because I want to avoid sewing all my panels together in the end. So if I just continued to knit my front panels and my back panel separately, then in the end I would have to sew all the panels together along the sides. And I don't want to do that because I'm not a huge fan of sewing. So in order to avoid doing that, I'm just gonna kind of knit in the round. It's not completely knitting in the round because there's gonna be the opening in the front, but now I'm gonna join all 3 panels together. But first I'm gonna try on the cardigan. I'm pretty happy with how it's looking right now. My only concern is that I may have made it slightly too small because my first attempt was way too big and I wanted to avoid that happening again. So I may have overcorrected and made it a little too small this time around, but I won't really know until it's done. It's kind of hard to say right now because it does look a little small up here, because I am doing a drop shoulder construction and I was imagining this part of the cardigan would be sitting around here. But I have to remember that I increased along the outer edge of my cardigan here. So I think I increased 4 or 5 stitches along the outer edge of, you know, each panel. So this part of my panels is larger than how it's looking up here. So I have to keep that in mind because when I look at it up here, it looks too small, but it's actually bigger than that. So I'm basically done knitting the body of my cardigan. So I'm just gonna quickly finish knitting this row right here, and then I will try on the cardigan to show you guys what it's looking like. Almost there, 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 almost. Okay, I just finished the row. This is a very long row, and now I'm gonna try it on. Okay, I think it's looking good. I'm pretty happy with it. This is how long the cardigan is right now, and I definitely think I want to make it longer. I'm just not going to do that right away because I want to wait until after I've added the sleeves, and once I've added the sleeves, I will try it on again and see how long I want the cardigan to be because I'm having a hard time visualizing the end results right now without the sleeves. And I kind of like, you know, like a cropped cardigan, and it's definitely gonna grow during the blocking process. So it could be like down to here after blocking. Who knows? I'm also wearing a super long sweater right now, which makes this cardigan look extra short, but it's actually not that short. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place these stitches at the bottom here on hold, and I'm gonna pick up stitches along one of my armholes, and I'm gonna start working up one of my sleeves, and I'm gonna use light green yarn for the sleeves. And I'm choosing to do it this way because this is how much dark green yarn I have left. So I only had enough to knit the body of the cardigan in dark green, and this is how much light green yarn I have, and hopefully this will be enough to knit both sleeves. I'm actually pretty sure it won't be enough, so I may have to order more yarn. So I definitely won't have enough light green yarn to knit both of the sleeves, so I had to buy more yarn. But this shade of green is completely sold out online, so I had to choose a new color because I didn't want it to be the other shade of green that I used for the body, because I feel like that would look weird if the body and one sleeve is one color and then one sleeve is just randomly another color. So the new color that I bought is a super dark green, which I think will look kind of fun. So now this cardigan is going to be like a color blocking kind of cardigan because one sleeve is going to be light green, body is medium green, and then the other sleeve is a super dark green. So I'm excited for this new change. Anyway, now we just have to wait for the yarn to arrive. We're going to open this package together. Hopefully I like this shade of green. It is definitely a dark green. It almost looks like black yarn. It's so dark. I love that. If I had to use a different shade of green for this sleeve, I wanted it to be different enough where it was like very obviously color blocking. If it was too close to this shade of green, I feel like it might look a little weird. Ooh. Oh my god, wait, it's so nice. Oh my god. So this color is called Pine, and it is very pretty. Oh. Nice, okay. So this is gonna be the color of this sleeve right here. Yay, I bought 2 skeins of it, and I feel like that should be enough. Before I start using this yarn, I'm gonna finish this sleeve, and then I'll start working up the second sleeve with this new and fun yarn. I think I'm basically, oops, oh no. Oh no. My cardigan got stuck on one of the needles on my knitting machine. That's kind of funny. Oops, poopsie. I think I'm pretty much done the sleeve. I think I'm just gonna knit, I might just need to knit a few more rows, and then, where is it? Oh yeah. And then I'm gonna start the second sleeve with this color right here. I'm excited to be working with a new color. Ooh, I just noticed it literally matches my shirt perfectly. Wow. Oh my god, I love this color combo so much. I'm so happy that this light green yarn was sold out online because it forced me to get this dark green yarn, and I think that was the right decision because it looks so good together. And now I'm gonna try this on to show you guys what it's looking like. It's looking so good. Oh my god. So this is everything that I've done so far for the dark green sleeve. It's coming along. And for this sleeve, I started decreasing right about here, and I gradually decreased the sleeve, and I'm super happy with how it came out. It took me a couple attempts, and I did not film the process of me trying to get it right, But yeah, definitely took me a couple tries. But I'm very happy with how it came out. And now I have to do the same thing with this sleeve. And I think I have maybe like 7 more rows left to knit before I start decreasing it. But this sleeve actually worked up super fast because I was decreasing it. So I had like, as I was decreasing it, I obviously had less stitches in my round. So it definitely worked up fairly quickly. So I think that once I start decreasing this sleeve, I'll be done in no time. Anyway, I'm just gonna kind of give you a better look of the cardigan. I'm also so happy I decided to make this a cardigan instead of a sweater because it's looking so good, and I feel like this will be such a fun layerable piece. So I have a lot of things that'll go really well with this cardigan. It's also super warm, which I think would be a little tricky for a sweater, because if you're wearing like a super warm bulky sweater, you kind of gotta like commit to it, you know? Whereas a cardigan, super easy to take it on and off. Anyway, I'm gonna continue working up this sleeve and maybe I can finish it today. If not today, definitely tomorrow, because I think it'll work up super fast. And once I'm done the sleeve, all I have left to do is see if I wanna make this cardigan a little bit longer. I definitely wanna add like maybe like 2 more rows, but we'll see. I finished the dark green sleeve. Oh my gosh, I love this cardigan so much. It is so nice. This is my first time trying it on since finishing the sleeve. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah! I have chills. I'm so excited about this cardigan. What the heck? It looks so good. Wait, I love this dark sleeve so much. Ooh. For some reason, the sleeve kind of feels longer than this one, but I did the exact same thing unless I messed up a little bit. Oh my god! I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Cool. This is like the best thing I've ever made. I feel like I say that after I finish everything that I make, but I feel this way a lot about this cardigan. Yeah, I guess now I have to just finish off the bottom of the body of the cardigan. I don't even know if I want to make it longer, to be honest. I kind of like the cropped look of it. I might add just a few more rows. We'll see. I'm probably gonna do that off camera because I feel like this video is getting a little long. I guess I will come back once I've finished the body of it and am ready to block the cardigan. I'm so excited. I ended up adding more than 2 rows to the bottom of the cardigan. The exact amount of rows that I knit, I think, was 6 or 7 rows. So I definitely added a little bit more length to this cardigan, which I'm hoping I like. I still haven't tried it on yet, so we're gonna try it on for the first time together. Ooh, I can't tell if this is a good length or not. I feel like I'm gonna overthink it. Oops. I like how this length looks in the back. When the cardigan was a little bit more cropped, I didn't like how that looked in the back, but I did like how it looked in the front. I'm gonna go look in the mirror and come back to tell you what I've decided to do. So I put on a different shirt just to see if maybe the other top that I was wearing was throwing me off a little bit, but no, I think I prefer this cardigan a little bit more cropped. I think it looked better before. So yeah, I'm gonna go frog several rows and I'll come back to show you what it looks like after. I'm finally ready to block my cardigan. This is what it's looking like. There are a few things that I'm not really loving about this cardigan right now. So you know how I was saying I made the cardigan a little bit too long and I would need to take out some rows to make it shorter because I preferred the cropped look? Well, it turns out I actually prefer the longer version. So today I added 4 more rows and I think I'm finally happy with the length of it. So I'm just gonna trust that this is a good length and just go for it. I'm gonna block it now. Oh my God. Okay. I just need to stay under. Okay. Okay. Sorry, my room is very messy right now because I feel very chaotic. Honestly, my brain feels very messy right now, so my room is just reflecting how I feel inside. But I wanted to show you my cardigan. So it is currently still being blocked and it's still pretty damp, but just by looking at it laying flat like this, I can already tell I'm gonna wanna add some borders along my edges. So I didn't initially do that because I do kind of like an edge that lacks a border. I think it looks kind of fun. But right now, this cardigan just looks incomplete. Especially, you know, the inner edge right here. This looks so unfinished. I'm at least for sure gonna do a border along these edges right here because this looks not great. I'm also pretty sure that the sleeves have gotten significantly longer during the blocking process because, yeah, they're looking pretty long. So I'm probably gonna have to take out several rows for the sleeves. So yeah, I thought I was done, but I am not. And I haven't decided how much I'm gonna film of this process because I'm pretty sure this video is already like 30 or 35 minutes long and I don't wanna make this video too long. So I might film some of it, I might not. I haven't decided yet. I also still haven't tried it on, so who knows? I might actually like how it looks with all the borderless edges. I wanted to show you what the cardigan looks like on after blocking. I think it looks so much better. Blocking really makes a difference. Especially, it made a really big difference with this cardigan because it was very stiff. I didn't realize how stiff it was before the blocking process, but I love it. It's so flowy. Look at that. I still want to add the borders though, so this video is going to be a little bit longer, but I think it's going to be worth it. I think it needs borders. I just want like more coverage along the inner panels. Oops, front panels. Especially because I think the front panels are looking a little too small. It needs a border. A button band border. And then I'm going to add border along the base of the sleeves. And then a little border along the bottom here. But this cardigan's looking so good. I love it, except for the fact that it's still incomplete. Oh yeah, the sleeves did grow quite a bit during the blocking process. Look how long they are. You can barely see my fingers poking through. So I'm definitely gonna have to take out several rows for the sleeves. My cardigan is so close to being done, and it is almost perfect, but not quite. And I'm gonna show you what it's looking like. Oh my God. Oh, it looks so good. Yeah, so it's so close to being perfect, but I think I wanna make it slightly longer, which kind of sucks because I did already add the button band, and if I wanna make it longer, I have to take apart the button band, take apart the ribbing at the bottom of the cardigan, and then add 2 more rows because I think I only want to add 2 more rows, and then I have to re-put on the button band. Yeah. The reason I want to make it slightly longer, like I actually do like the length of it right now, but the reason I want to make it longer is because I don't want whatever shirt I'm wearing underneath the cardigan to be longer than the cardigan. And this shirt that I'm currently wearing will most likely be the shirt that I wear underneath this cardigan. When I fully pull this shirt down to like a comfortable length, it's really close to being slightly longer than this cardigan. It kind of works, but yeah, if I lift up, it literally just needs to be like 2 or 3 more rows longer. And honestly, I could leave it. It's not like that big of a deal, but I've come all this way. I've put so much effort into getting this cardigan just right. I feel like I should just put in a little bit more work just for it to be the perfect fit. I don't want to be lazy about it and just finish it now because I don't want to work on it anymore. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna add 2 more rows. I finished the cardigan and it looks really good. I love it. Oh my god. Ooh, this is the back. This is the side. I really, really love the different colored sleeves. I feel like it's so fun. And like, where else are you gonna see that? I feel like it makes it extra unique and just fun. And I love fun things. Also, I'm really glad that I did the button band in a different color. Originally, I was gonna do it the same color as like the body of the cardigan. But when I did that, I forget what happened. I did try doing that, I think. Oh no, I didn't have enough yarn to do that. I didn't have enough of this color left over to do a button band if I wanted to make it longer, which I did. After making this cardigan a little bit longer, that's when I realized I wouldn't have enough yarn left to make a button band in this color. So that's why I decided to make it a different color, but I didn't want to make it just one of these colors because then it would look a little off balance. So that's why I made it these alternating colors. It took me so many attempts to get it just right. Like the first time I made the button band, I picked up 2 stitches for every 3 stitches and it was way too scrunched up, so then I took it apart, and then I picked up 3 stitches for every 4 stitches and it was still a little bit too tight, so then I took it apart, and then I picked up 4 stitches for every 5 stitches, which is what I did this time around. But it wasn't until after I cast off that I realized it was too tight. So then I took it apart. I think, no, I didn't. That's not what happened. What happened, it was perfect. It was like the right amount of like stretchiness. It looked good. But then I realized I put the colors on the wrong side. So I didn't realize as I was making the button band, but I made this dark button band side on this side right here, and I didn't like it. It looks so much better when they're on like the opposite side from the color of the sleeve. Does that make sense? Like when this light green side of the button band was on the side with the light green sleeve, it didn't look as good. So I took it apart again, and then I redid it like this. But then I realized my bind off stitches were too tight. So then I had to take apart the bind off stitches, not the entire button band, just the bind off stitches. And then I redid it, but with a looser bind off. And now we're here, finally done the cardigan. There are so many parts of this cardigan that I had to redo to get just right. It's actually like a really simple construction. A drop shoulder construction is usually like pretty simple, but it took me, I wanted to get everything just right. And that's what made it a little bit more complicated because the sleeves I took apart several times. It took me a while to get these just right because I really love the look of it gradually getting smaller at the wrist. And my first few attempts, I did the decreasing a little bit too late, so it was like more of like a, this was like the same size, and then all at once it shrunk. Didn't like how that looked, so yeah. Oh my god, it's been a while since I started this cardigan. I'm trying to like remember everything that I went through to make this cardigan, and I can't really remember because it's kind of been a while now. It's definitely been more than a month since I started it, and it definitely wouldn't have taken that long to work up if I was like following a pattern and knew exactly what I was doing, but it was all the trial and error that made it take so long. But we're finally done, which is really exciting because yeah, I love it. It's very Christmassy, and today is actually Christmas Eve. Right now is Christmas Eve. So tomorrow is Christmas Day, and I plan to wear this cardigan tomorrow. And I'm gonna wear it with this hat, this Santa hat that I made. It's giving Christmas. I specifically made this hat so that it would look kind of like funky and weird. It's kind of supposed to give like Whoville vibes. There's not much else I have to say about this cardigan other than I love it. It was chaotic to make, but worth it because this is definitely going to be something that I wear all the freaking time. Can't show you one more time in the back. Oh, actually before I end this video, I just want to show you. So you can kind of see like where the button band changes color in the back, and I think that's kind of fun. You see that? Anyway, I thought that was a fun little detail, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And this is the first episode in this new series that I want to do. So let me know your thoughts, and let me know your thoughts on this cardigan. I love it. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. Bye.